In today's class, we are going to study the next concept is, so what is that? Can you able to say? So in last class, we have seen that experiments to study that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis, understanding, as well as chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, as well as water and carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. Now, in today's class, how these plants are taking, understanding, carbon dioxide, how these plants are obtaining this carbon dioxide, through which part, who is involving in the plant, how they are taking, through which, this is all we are going to study in the today's class. So shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Yes,
when it comes to here, hope at least 10 members joined, only 9 fellows. Good morning, Karthikeyan, Alni, Dilipan, everybody. Good morning, Nidinath. So now, let us come to here.
Good morning, sir.
Today we are going to study, the first concept is how these plants obtain this carbon dioxide, because it is present in air. How they are sucking, like we are getting the oxygen, we are some of the processor, that is also a study.
Stomata.
Like that. Yes, how the plants are absorbing the carbon dioxide which is required for the photosynthesis. So please keep reading. First, how the plants obtain, how the plants obtain carbon dioxide, obtain carbon dioxide. So let us come to here. We have a large number of, if you take any kind of plant, as you know already, they have a large number of tiny pores, understanding, a small holes, tiny pores, we used to known as, we have that some name. So if you take any kind of plant, they're having a large number of tiny pores, which is only we used to called as stomata. Have you heard this word? Stomata?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Stomata, which is present on the, where it is present? What is the location of the stomata? And anybody?
Leaf.
On the leaves.
Leaf.
So if you take the
Leaf.
stomata, which contains a large, understanding, it is a small tiny pore called as stomata, which is present on the surface of the leaf. Where it is present? Surface of the leaf. Now, let us see, is it present bottom of the surface or top of the surface or both the sides of the leaf? Anybody?
Bottom, sir. Bottom.
Bottom?
Below the.
Speak.
Yes, sir.
Below the
Below
leaf
the
or
surface
above the leaf or both the sides?
Below the leaf.
Below the
Below
leaf.
the leaf.
Okay. So, but it is wrong. It is not correct always. So let us see now. The situation will come, I will say. That is why just I need to know that either you people know or not, I want to know. So that only I am saying. So stomata is not only present at the bottom, not only present at the top, depend upon the size of the leaf, it will varies. So that I will say. So if it comes to here, we have a large number of pores. Understanding, every plant if you take, every leaves, understanding, they have a large number of tiny pores. They are only called as stomata. Understanding, which is present on the surface of the leaves of a plant. Understanding. So if we'll take these green plants, whatever the green plants, they will take the carbon dioxide from air. They will take the carbon dioxide from air for photosynthesis with the help of this stomata only. With the help of this stomata only. Are you people understand, Ra? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes,
Now if you see that, this stomata is the singular or plural? Singular or plural? Is it a singular or plural?
So plural, sir. Plural.
Stomata is the plural, because that is why I am saying a large number of tiny pores called as stomata. So what is the singular word of stomata?
Stoma.
Understand? So stoma is the singular word of a single stoma, single pore of a, understand, a tiny pore is called as stoma. So large number is called as stomata, plural form. That is what you remember. So with the help of this stomata only, green plants, they will take the carbon dioxide from air for photosynthesis reaction. Now, this carbon dioxide gas enters the leaves of the plant through the stomata, which they are present on the surface of the leaves. Surface of the leaves. Understand? So this each stomatal pore, understand? Each stomatal pore. What we used to call this? Each stomatal pore known as what? Each stomatal pore is known as what? Stoma. Understanding? Is surrounded by a pair of two securities. Each pore is having a two bodyguards. That bodyguards is only called as guard cells.
God cells.
Guard cells. I will explain. You don't know everything picture based, and that pictures only you people are need to going to draw in exam also. Understand? Not even textbook. Remember that. So this each pore of a leaves. Understanding? This stomata. Understanding? Full stomata. Each hole, each stoma is covered by a two pair of guard cells. So the opening. Understand the opening and closing of the stomatal pore for absorbing carbon dioxide or else evaporating, releasing the water, whatever it is. Understanding transport through the process of transpiration. Everything is controlled by this guard cells only. So now here one question arises: who is going to operate or able to allow the open the stoma and closing the stoma? Understanding who will be? It is completely controlled by, understanding every stoma is controlled by two guard cells. So this guard cells only they will allow whenever they want to open the stoma, they will allow to open the stoma, and whenever they want to close the stoma, and these guard cells only will help to stoma to close. So that is why we can say this all the stomata is controlled by guard cells. Understand, Ra? Now, in which situations it will close, which situations it will open, we should know. Suppose if we'll take, when water flows into the guard cells, all of you remember, when water flows into the guard cells, they start swell. Understanding? Suppose if you drink more and more water, your stomach will come like this. Is it yes or no? Is it yes or no? Yes. So the same way, if we'll see, whenever the water will start pouring, understand, we start moving into the guard cells will start swelling. The guard cells will start, what will happen? The guard cells will start swell and they will become curved. Are you able to understanding them? Like our stomach. Our stomach also will become, do you know that who is having a belly? Their stomach will be like a curved shape. Is it yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Actually, the guard cells will be like this, and middle stomata will be somewhere here. We cannot able to see. Now, whenever the water is entering into these guard cells, imagine my two hands are guard cell. Now, these they will start swelling. Both they will start swelling. Means in the sense of middle, we are getting gap or not?
Yes, sir.
We are getting gap or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Means in the sense of who is opened there? Who opened middle? Stoma. So if stoma open means what will happen? The carbon dioxide will enter. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now again, if water will go out, what will happen? Guard cells will come
It will
close.
shrink.
In the
It
sense
will
of
shrink, so
stoma will
the
be,
stoma will get closed.
stoma will close. Understanding? When water is entering into the guard cells will swell, so stoma will open. Again, it will be closed. Like this, whenever they want to open, they will open. Whenever they want to close, they will close. Now let us see. So this is the functioning of guard cells and stoma. So now, whenever these guard cells lose water, automatically they will shrink. Understanding? Swell, shrink. They will become the straight and close the stomatal pore. So like this, a large amount of water is also lost from the cells of a plant leaves through the open stomatal pores. Understanding? That process is only called as transpiration process. So through this stomatal pores only, a huge amount of water, understanding, huge amount of water is going to evaporate, means mixing with atmosphere by the process called as transpiration. By the process called as transpiration. ratio.
Transparent.
So that is why both evaporation of water and absorption of carbon dioxide completely with the help of stomatal pores only. So whenever the plant does not need carbon dioxide, and it needs to save the water, means in the sense of it needs to conserve water because no rains, no understanding like desert plants and all. They want to conserve the water. So is it they will open the guard cells? Means is it they will open the stomatal pore or they will close the stomatal pore?
They will close the stomatal, sir.
Suppose they don't want to absorb the carbon dioxide, but also same time they want to conserve the water, so that they will close the stomatal pore or they will open the stomatal pore.
They will close it.
They will close the stomatal pore. Why? Because they don't want to use, by the time they don't need to absorb the carbon dioxide, as well as they don't want to lose the water. So the stomatal pores are closed. So the stomatal pores are closed means in the sense of guard cells are curved or guard cells are straight. Guard cells are curved or guard cells are straight.
Straight, sir.
Guard cells are straight. Observe my hand. Imagine my hand is one stomatal pore. Understand, middle here the space is one stomatal pore, and these two hands are called as what? One pair of guard cells. So now water leaves through these guard cells, they become straight, so that stomatal pore will be closed. Understand? It will be shrink so that no loss of water as well as carbon dioxide cannot be absorbed. So if you'll observe, the stomatal pore are closed when they don't want to absorb they don't need carbon dioxide as well as they want to conserve the water. And also you may remember, we are having a byproduct in the photosynthesis reaction. What is that? What is the byproduct in photosynthesis reaction?
Oxygen, sir.
Oxygen.
The oxygen which is released during the photosynthesis reaction, this is also, understanding, coming out through these pores only. Understanding? So the oxygen gas which is produced during photosynthesis also goes out through the stomatal pores of the leaves. Are you people understand? So that is the importance of stomatal pores. We have all the like evaporation of water, absorbing carbon dioxide, and again releasing of oxygen. Everything is happening with the help of stomatal pores of the leaves, and these leaves are controlled by whom? Guard cells. Understand, Amma? Here one question.
So every second they water and release the carbon dioxide.
Yes, sir.
What?
So
Now,
every second they absorb the water and they release the
yes,
carbon
every
dioxide.
cell, every plant, every leaf having millions of pores. Every stomatal pore will be involving in this. Not only particular one. Understand? Now,
Yes, sir.
here one question will arise. Sir, is it only the green leaves are doing this absorption of carbon dioxide, or else releasing of oxygen, or evaporation of transpiration of water, everything? Somebody will ask, sir, I am observing that some other parts of the plant also contains chlorophyll and it is also green in color. Then is it water is not evaporating through them? Water is not absorbed, carbon dioxide is not absorbing by them. If you'll observe majorly, most of the green plants, they shoot means a sharp edge where the leaves are going to come, new leaves. Have you observed shoot? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if we take a few
Yes, sir.
stems also, few green plants stems also will be a few plants stems and shoot is completely will be in green color. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Actually,
Yes, sir.
so they also contains the stomatal cells. Remember, not only the leaves. Understand? So the stomata are also present in the green stems as well as, understanding, shoots everywhere, shoots of the plants. So the green stems are the shoots, understanding, of a plant also carry out photosynthesis reaction. So there also the gases, understanding, the gaseous exchange in plants takes place through the stomata in leaves and other green parts of the plant. Wherever you can observe the green part of the plant, everywhere the photosynthesis reaction will take place, as well as gaseous exchange also. Gaseous are exchange. Understand? Carbon dioxide will go inside and oxygen will come outside. You please understand or not, Ra? Yes or no? So now, sir, how these guard cells are present? Then why you are saying that the wherever you are observing the green part, like stems is only called as that the shoots. Understanding the sharply there the plant is start growing. So that everywhere there also stomata is present. Then understanding how this is working, how this looks. Suppose in exam they will ask you draw the understanding. Take the any kind of understand the plant. Take carbon dioxide required for photosynthesis from air through the stomata. So please draw the diagram of, they will ask you the question. Draw the diagram of open stomata as well as closed stomata. So now in that situation, your textbook, you are having one diagram. I am not saying that it is not good, but for more better understanding, for your purpose to drawing easily, your notebook also, you please kindly draw this is all. Because for next diagram, leaf structure, understanding bisection of leaf also, your textbook, it is very clumsy and it is not even good to looking also is not good. So that is why we will follow our pictures, own pictures, but definitely will get full mark. So now let us comes to here to see this open stomatal and closed stomata. Understanding. So let us go with this picture. You may understand the full process here. So now you see here, can you able to see this one? All of you observe. So here you can see a green color, small balls like a spherical shape we are observing here. What is that? Everywhere you can see. What is that?
Stomata.
Hey, here green color I am saying. Green color alone.
Chlorophyll, sir.
Green color alone. Chloroplast. What we used to call? Chloroplast.
Chloroplast.
Chloroplast only contains what? What it contains?
Water.
What you should remember, not the stomata. Now, the middle you are observing the gap. Are you observing the gap here? Are you observing the gap here?
Yes, sir.
This is the called as spore. So this spore is called as what? Stoma. What we should call?
Stoma.
Open stoma. See now here it is open. That is why now here we are having like a kidney beans. Understanding kidney beans, two cells are there. What is that cells are called as? You see, this is one cell. This is the kidney beans. They are curved shape. Now see like a half circle. Is it yes or no? Yes,
sir.
they are called as, see everywhere we have our two kinds of kidney beans like a curved shape. So they are only called as what? What we should call? God. Now they are curved. They are curved means stomatal pore is opened or closed?
Opened.
Open. That is why this is called as open stomata. So here everywhere you see, it is opened or not? Here it is open.
Yes,
here it is open. Here it is also open. So this is called as open stomata. What we should call?
Open
Stomata. And understanding, inside the guard cells, we are observing chloroplast. Are you people understand where the chloroplast is present?
Inside the gut.
Inside the guard cells. Understand? So now, suppose when they don't want to lose the water, they want to conserve the water and they don't want to absorb the oxygen, then what will happen? These guard cells, they will lose the water which is present inside. So they will come straight, means in the sense of what will happen? The pores, is it now the pores is open? The pores is completely
Closed.
Yes or no? So the stomatal pores is completely closed. So that only now guard cells are almost straight line. Is it yes or no? Yes. That is. So this is called as closed stomata and this is called as open stomata. Understand? So when the stomatal pores are open, exchange of gases will take place. When the stomatas are closed, then there is no exchange of water as well as gases. So now here guard cells are straight in the sense of here the stoma is closed, stomatal cell is closed, and when the guard cells are curved, stomatal open stomata means it is allowing the gases to exchange. Are you people understand, Amma? So please all of you take this screenshot and you people need to draw this diagram even in exam also as well as everywhere, wherever it will comes, you have to draw the same one. Understand or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let us go for, I will ask you a question. I already asked you the question. Is it where this stoma is present? Is it only the bottom or is it only at the top or both the sides? That is what my question. So you all
The
people are saying,
bottom of the leaf.
yeah, you all people are saying that it is present only at the bottom. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
Or
sir.
no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what you are saying is correct, but the stoma is present only bottom for not for all the leaves. The leaves which are very big in size. The leaves which are
Very
very
big.
big in size, for them alone the stoma or else the everything this what we can what is this called as the stomata or stoma, everything is present only at the bottom of the leaf. Understand? So if you take a very big leaves of the green plant, then we used to see that the stomata is occurs only at the lower surface of the leaf. But if you take a narrow leaves, remember that is what I am saying. If you take a broad leaves, BROAD, note it down. If you take a broad leaves, then stomata is present only at where? Then stomata is present at only occurs in
Bottom.
in below surface. Understanding? In the lower surface. That is what you remember. So lower surface of leaf alone is present. Suppose if we take narrow leaved plant, narrow, understanding? Narrow leaved plants, then what will happen? So these are present. Where they are present? Sir, broad leaved means you are saying that lower surface. Then narrow leaved means upper surface.
Sir, center, sir.
Huh?
Both sides.
Both the
Both sides,
sides, but they are equally distributed. That is what you should remember. Understand? So in narrow leaved plants, the stomata are equally distributed on both the sides of the leaf. Understanding? Equally distributed.
Sir,
On the
spine tree is also example.
yeah.
Spine.
Both the sides, whatever it is, yes, a narrow leaves, very good. That is, so every kind of leaves, that narrow leaves, very small in size and like a straight line. That is, we can say that they are having this pores in both the sides, stomatal pores. That's all. So this is about this one. That is what I am saying. So here in this case, equally they are distributed on both the sides. So let us go for here. One more point you should remember that. Understand? So if we take aquatic plants, how many of you know aquatic plants? Aqua plants. Solungamma.
Yes, sir.
Aquatic
Yes,
plants.
sir.
So now we are saying that
Yes, sir.
the plants are growing on the ground or else mountains everywhere. They will absorb this gas, whatever it is, the carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. They will absorb through the stomatal pores. Is it yes or no? Or stomata? Yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Now, if it comes to the aquatic plants, then is it they are also absorbing through the stomata? Please, if you say yes, let me see. If you know, if you don't know, also no problem. You say yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are feeling. They also will absorb through the stomata only because they are also having everything. Tell me, they are also plants, correct?
Yes, sir.
Kevin,
Yes, sir.
Kevin, will you say that absorbed by the same stomata?
No, sir.
No. Then how they will absorb?
No,
Ah,
sir, they do not have stomata.
they don't have stomata, so they will absorb the carbon dioxide which is dissolved in water.
Dissolved in water, sir.
Water.
Already dissolved in water, sir.
They
Dissolved in
will
water.
absorb, they will use the understanding carbon dioxide which is present inside the water, means in the sense of every water plants, aquatic plants also we can call it as water plants. So water plants, they will absorb, understanding the carbon dioxide gas which is dissolved in water, which is dissolved
Dissolved
in
in water.
water, is only they will use for which reaction? They will use for photosynthesis reaction. Photosynthesis reaction. All of you remember. Understanding, Amma? So this is about the understanding how they will absorb the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis reaction. How the plants obtain carbon dioxide. Now, do you want to see the real stomata? Anybody? If you are interested, I will show you. Which is
Yes, sir.
seen by
Yes, sir.
microscope. You want to see the real stomata, how it will be there?
Yes, sir.
You also, people also,
sir.
you people also can see that, understanding. With the help of microscope, if you have a microscope, you can take a one leaf. Better if you take a broad leaf, understanding. Then you can see that God cells and everything very clearly. So now let us go for here. So you people can understand. I will show you which has seen by the microscope. Now, can you able to see in this picture? Just to see,
Yes, sir.
all of you. Can you able to see here?
Yes, sir.
So what is present here? This is the real. We're having small holes. Yes or no?
Yes,
It's
sir.
a highly magnified image of stomatoma. So you can see here. So this middle one, what we used to call stomatal pores. And like we are observing the kidney beans, it is open stomata. Like a kidney curved surfaces are there. What is that called as?
God says.
Guard cells.
God's
People understand this is the real image, Ra. So real image of which has been highly magnified with the microscope. Understanding? So this is only called as what we used to call
God says.
guard cells, as well as this is the structure of the stomatal pores in the plant leaves. Understand all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is. So now this is all about the how the plants will obtain carbon dioxide. Please call to Dina and Pranav and those who are remaining absentees. Still it is 14 members, means in the sense of 6 members are absent. Please make a call for them. Pranita is not there. Jesse is there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, sir.
Where is Pranita? Make a call fastly for them.
I'll call you,
7
sir.
members are absent. 7 members are absent. Now 6. Make a call. Because half an hour over still not yet wake up means what these fellows are doing. That is. Okay, please all of you write it. These points are very, very important. Understanding. Have you taken the picture of open stomata and closed stomata? Do you want again? Do you want it again? You have to draw the diagram. Every time you have to draw the same diagram. You understand? Whenever it will comes in exam, you must draw the same thing. Is it okay?
Okay.
All of
Okay,
you. Yes, you're right. So what is another name of stoma? What stoma is also called as what? Stomas.
Tomato board.
Ah,
Tomato board.
stoma also we can call as what?
Open pores.
Ah,
Tomato board, sir.
stomatal.
Tomato
Open
board.
pores. Tomato.
Open pores are. No.
Pores, sir.
Pores,
Tomato
pores,
board.
pores is class we can call stomatal pores we can call. Stoma is called as
Stomatal pore.
stomatal pores. Remember that is. So write this point you should write. Understand? Right. The gaseous exchange in plants. The gaseous exchange in plants. The gaseous exchange in plants takes place through the stomata. Takes place through the stomata in leaves and other green parts of the plants. In leaves and other green parts of the plants. Other green parts of the plants. That is the first point. Next point. Most broad-leaved plants, broad-leaved plants, the stomata occurs, only in the lower surface, only in the lower surface of the leaf, only
Okay.
lower surface of the leaf, only lower surface of the leaf, only lower surface of the leaf. But in narrow-leaved plants, the stomata are equally distributed on both the sides of the leaf. Equally distributed on both the sides of the leaf. Ashika also absent. Why? Ashika, are you there in meeting? Make a call.
Sir.
Sir, can you say again from first?
You want to repeat it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But in narrow-leaved plants, here it is there, but narrow-leaved plants, but in narrow-leaved plants, the stomata are equally distributed. The stomata are equally distributed on both the sides of the leaf. On both the sides of the leaf. Both the sides of the leaf. Called Ashika also. Both the sides of the leaf. Right. Last point. The aquatic plants also called as what? Aquatic plants also called as
Water plant.
water plants.
Water plant.
That is bracket you can write. Aquatic plants use the carbon dioxide gas. Use the carbon dioxide gas. Use the carbon dioxide gas dissolved in water. Dissolved in water. Dissolved in water for carrying out which reaction, Ra? For carrying out which reaction? For carrying out
Photosynthesis.
photosynthesis. For carrying out photosynthesis. So this is what a first experiment, first raw material which is absorbed by the plants. We have two raw materials. Yesterday we have studied. What is the two raw materials for photosynthesis, Ra? One is what is the two raw materials required for photosynthesis?
Fluoro.
Carbon dioxide and water, sir. Water and carbon dioxide.
Fluorophene.
We have to see how they will get the carbon dioxide. Yes or no? Now one more thing is remaining. So what is that second raw material? What is
Water,
the
sir.
second raw material?
Water, sir.
That is only called as water. How the plants obtain water for photosynthesis? That is what? All of you keep heading. How the plants obtain water. Obtain water for photosynthesis. Shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
All of you. So now, let us see, as we know that basically if we'll ask, suppose I will ask you, how the plants will absorb the water. Generally also we'll discuss. How they will absorb water?
Sir, from
With the help of roots only. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. But those who are absent, those who join now, you have to listen first this full class, because a very important thing it is stomatal, understanding guard cells and all. So that is, so let us see if it comes to here, how the plants obtain water for photosynthesis means. Remember, as we know that the water which is required by the plants for photosynthesis is absorbed by the roots of the plants. So every plant, they're having a part called as roots, which is inside the soil. Understand? So the water required for this photosynthesis is absorbed by these roots of the plants from the soil. From where? From the soil. Understand? And this absorption is also, we are having a name called as, by the process of, what is that process? Can you guess that process name? Absorption of water by the soil. Simply if we keep the roots, they cannot absorb. Here some some process should take place. What is that process? Any idea? Anybody? Anyone, any idea? You can tell. So here, the roots will absorb the required amount of water for the photosynthesis from the soil by the process called as osmosis. What we should call?
Osmosis, sir.
Osmosis. Understand? So you may heard this word in filtration of water also. If you buy a purified water or drinking water, understand? In that they used to write reverse osmosis and UV treatment, like that they will write. Have you noticed it or not? Anytime? Or if you go to any bus stand, railway station, if you buy any water bottle, they will write what is the chemical process takes place in filtering this water. They will write chlorination, understanding. like class 9th, you have studied correct water filtration method, disinfectant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they
Okay.
will write
Yes,
reverse
sir.
osmosis. Osmosis, not reverse osmosis and all. So understand, Amma. So this is like roots. They will absorb the water with the help of the process called as osmosis. So what is the meaning of osmosis means? Always the substance will flow from low concentration to high.
Lower concentration to higher concentration.
Yeah, no, exchange reverse it is. Higher concentration to lower concentration. Understand? So that is only called as osmosis process. So if you observe this water is absorbed by the roots of the plants, is transported which direction? Downwards or upwards?
Upwards, sir.
Upwards.
Upwards.
So the roots will primary things. They are the primary one who will absorb the water from the soil by the process called as osmosis. By the process called as osmosis, and this water is transported. This water is transported. In class 9th, you have already studied. Who is the carrier of water in the plants? Who will transport it in upward direction? Transport upwards. Who is?
Xylem.
Xylem. Very good. So we have a xylem vessels. Is it yes or no? All of you.
Yes, sir.
So we have a xylem vessels. You have studied the structures of xylem and phloem in class 9th. Have you remembered? Yes or no? Nobody is remembered xylem and phloem structures?
Remember, sir.
So this transported, the water which is absorbed by the roots is transported upwards through the xylem vessels to the leaves, where it reaches the photosynthetic cells and utilized in photosynthesis. Photosynthetic cells and it is utilized in photosynthesis. So from the roots to leaves, who will carry? Only the xylem vessels will carry this water, and it will reaches to the photosynthesis. It will reaches to the leaves for allowing them to takes place the what reaction? Photosynthesis reaction. The cells, that God cells where the chloroplast, where the photosynthesis reaction will takes place, that cells is only called as photosynthetic cells. What we should call?
Photosynthetic cells.
Photosynthetic cells, where the photosynthesis will takes place. So that cells is called as photosynthetic cells. So now if we'll take, we have a two raw materials. What is the two raw materials? One is carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide and
Another
water.
one is
Water.
water. They are required by the plants to preparing energy foods. That is only we used to call as carbohydrates. What we should call? Carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates.
To get a glucose, such as understanding glucose, and also stored food is called as starch. So both is prepared. This is now if you'll observe, but the plants also need other raw materials. Is it yes or no? Is it only these two raw materials is enough? No. So if suppose plant wants to grow well, it requires NPK. Can you able to say NPK? What is
Nitrogen, potassium.
the word in fertilizers? NPK.
Nitrogen, phosphorus,
Nitrogen,
Phosphorus, potassium. Sir.
potassium.
Phosphorus,
As well
potassium.
as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, as well as they required iron and magnesium also. Is it yes or no? Like what our body? Everybody is required the minerals for building their body. Is it yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. So the minerals which are required, understanding, for their to build their bodies, that is also understanding from the soil only they will absorb. They will take this the materials like this NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, all the minerals to build their body. Everything will be taken with the help of roots only. Understand?